What's going on, everybody? Now I know I brought you guys a video of my initial thoughts of the Xbox One, but this time around I plan on bringing you guys my final thoughts as of E3. Now E3 is in a few weeks, but I figured I'll give you guys my thoughts up to then. So first of all, we have the look of the Xbox One. Now I know a lot of people have hated on the look. They said, "Oh, it looks like a VCR, like an old school." I agree that it does. It does have that like resemblance of the old school VCRs. But to me, I know it's not a modern, sleek look or anything like that, but they really accomplished. I think in their minds, they're looking for the Xbox One to be, as well as a gaming console, more of an entertainment piece. And if you're looking to get that in everyone's home, you don't want this thing that's like crazy, like a space technology looking kind of thing. You want something that's more, that kind of looks like a DVD player or a VCR or something, so that it will fit into every person's home. I know the gaming community isn't happy about that, but I mean, give and take a little bit. That's I think something we're going to have to compromise. We're not going to get sleek consoles, and I'm honestly okay with that. Once the PS4 comes out, I mean, I wouldn't mind if that's a bigger unit. I mean, with all this hardware inside, I'm fine with it. Next up, we have the Kinect 2. Now, for me, I was not a fan, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my first video, I didn't even buy the first Kinect because I did not like it. I understood there were some fun things, like I used to go to my buddy's house and play the volleyball games, and like Dance Central was pretty fun when you're just messing around with a few people, but there was just so much wrong with it. So I figured, I heard Kinect 2, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be packaged with everything, they're kind of trying to force it on us. But I mean, and I like the voice controls. I think it is kind of weird, it's always going to be listening, but whatever. That's not a huge thing for me. But I do think, I watched some videos, I watched some things from Rev3 with Adam Sessler and his breakdown of like his hands-on, and I really like how they've actually sat down, they've improved it with like low light settings, which was one big thing for me. In my room, in my bedroom, I don't have a lot of room and there's not a lot of light coming in, so I can never use it because there wasn't sufficient like light. Now with this new Kinect 2, or version 2, whatever you guys want to call it, they're going to be like, when the lights are low, it's almost going to use like a night vision type of thing, it looks like. So I thought that was pretty cool. And another thing, being taller, it was always harder, it would always cut me off like right about my forehead or the top of my head, kind of. And it would always like throw off, it would always pause the game. I remember in Dance Central, it would always like, it would stop me because they'd be like, oh, you're out of frame, when I was just standing there. But one thing I've been hearing a lot of game journalists that even like, I want to say one person was around 6'3", and they said that they fit perfectly, like just the way it was designed, it shows their whole body. So I thought that was pretty cool, and that's, I mean, it's little things, but all put together, it really shows that they wanted to improve the Kinect, so I really like that. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is the price. I know this is a very touchy subject for a lot of people. This is going to depend if they pre-order it, or if they wait for a price drop, when they're going to pick it up. Personally, I would love to see $399. $399 would be a sweet spot for me. But I think if one of the companies were to price at $399, they would have a big lead out of the gates. But I just don't see it happening. I really think these consoles are going to hit at least $499. Especially, I hope Sony learned their lesson from the PS3. But with all the technology in these two systems, I don't see them being below $499. And I'm honestly okay with paying $500. You get close to $550. I'm pushing it. $600, I'll have to wait till there's a price drop because I don't want to put $600 out for a console. Now we get to the big thing. Now, there's been a lot of misinformation and a lot of he said, she said kind of things, and reps from Microsoft after the press event were telling people things that they weren't for sure, and there was people telling one thing to one person and another thing to another person, and just days after the event there's different information getting thrown around. So as of now, the pre-owned things, as of, what's today's date? Tuesday, May 28th, from what I know and what I've heard, there's not going to be a fee for pre-owned games, but the disc, when you first put it in, it will, like it said, it will tie it to the profile, but somehow that will give you ownership of the game. So when you take it, when you sell it, or when you take it back to GameStop or whatever, from what I've heard, they're gonna be connected to Microsoft, and they can either there's gonna be some system where they type it into, and they like generate a new key almost, so that when the new person comes in and buys the game, throws it in their console, now it sees it as a new game or whatever. So I mean, I'm happy with this. I think I was really against the whole $60 for a brand new game. I thought that was a horrendous idea. I mean, in some cases, having to charge $110 for a used game. But Microsoft came out and said they know that the used game market really helps them, and I'm hoping that they weren't trying to BS everybody. So, not to say that I don't care about the pre-owned market, because I know that it helps, but it doesn't affect me too much, except for the fact that I do trade in games that would hurt. But worst comes to worst, whatever, I just don't buy as many games in a year. And I just keep my games to build my game library. Now we come to something that a lot of people out of the United States have really, I've heard a lot of harping about it, they've really hated on it, was these sports deals. And I know overseas in Europe and stuff like that, people hate football. They're like, oh, it's a sissified version of rugby, and I understand there's a lot of hate. It's not big over there. But personally, I'm a big football fan. I'm a big basketball fan. So the things they show off with the NBA and the NFL with the fantasy teams and all that, I'm not a huge fantasy player, but depending on how cool these like systems or these apps are, I might have to jump back into it, because they said like you get alerts and it'll shoot you right to the video of when like a player that's on your team or one of your favorite players actually scores or gets you like a lot of points. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I know a lot of you guys overseas don't like that aspect, don't like our sports, but I mean, personally, I thought it was really fun, and it looks like something would be really cool. Alright, now we get down to two big things for me in my purchase. E3 and the exclusives. This is where Microsoft or Sony is going to blow me away, because I can't justify myself spending $550 on a system that doesn't have games to draw me in. And I understand, guys, I know that first conference didn't show us games, and a lot of people were upset with that. Personally, I don't think that they needed to show games. I understand, yes, it's a gaming console, there should be games, but they wanted to show you the entertainment side and the hardware side of what they were selling. So just think of the press conference that they had already of part 1. They're getting all that crap that us as gamers don't care out of the way. So E3, we're going to get just smacked in the head with games. And I really hope that this is the big thing for me. I'm not a huge Forza fan, so that's not a big exclusive. I did like what they showed. I thought, like, it's kind of crazy. I don't understand Quantum Break. I want to say that's the name of it, by Remedy. Like I said, these games like Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs, Watch Dogs. These games get me excited for the next gen, but I can pick those up, Sony and Microsoft. So it's really the exclusives for both people is what's going to have to really sell me on these consoles. And right now it's up in the air for me. I'm on the fence. I could go either way, Sony, Xbox. So yeah, this year in particular for me, E3 is going to be huge, because it's going to decide which console I'm going to be picking up. Alright guys, I want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could go down below, click the like button, subscribe if you haven't, so you can stay up to date on all my videos. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned, there's more on the way.